Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bizway Show. Bizway is an online presence platform sharing about entrepreneurs' wow story. And it's such a pleasure to talk about Bizway. Bizway is brought to you by Women Lines and Solbergs. Women Lines is an online magazine listed in top 40 women's online magazine to follow in 2020. It is promoting excellence in women across the globe so they can be the best version of themselves. Solbergs is a business service company in India founded by Mani Lakraju, reeling the ideation and helping entrepreneurs transform their ideas in businesses with support of mentoring, technology advisory, and fundraising. I will hand over further to Mani Lakraju to take it further.
Thank you, Charu. Welcome once again to one and all on Bizway. Bizway is an online presence platform, which is a service offered by Bizway team to facilitate businesses to join online show and create the marketable content from the online show. This online content is later made available at various branded digital pages like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, etc. And also on online magazine womenlines.com for 24/7 digital presence of the content online. What are we trying to achieve at Bizway? We are trying to solve three problems that we came across talking to a lot of entrepreneurs. Primarily, we are trying to provide a platform which is like a soft version of a Shark Tank where businesses can pitch and share to the world what is their value contribution and the true story, true heart story of the entrepreneur. Second, it's more a cross-border promotion or product or services based platform where we come to know about various ideas done in a different way in different geographies and how new things can be learned from the way it has been done. And finally, it is an access for the enthusiastic professionals to take it forward. Now, how it works? It's very simple. Business need to register for this platform and need to take the relevant briefing to get ready for the presence online. The briefing will be done in two stages. One on the basic mentoring that helps business to understand the key pointers from them to present and highlight for the business to be understood by most of the people across the globe whoever is watching the show. And later is more of a personal branding related to how to present well the content on the online show. So this is what we are trying to do at Bizway.
So it's time to welcome our esteemed guest, Srinivas Kilambi, founder and chairman at Keydabra, inventor of DXI and professor of AI Clarkson University. He's educated from IIT Mumbai, B.Tech Johns Hopkins and Clarkson MS and PhD from ORNL. CFA, silver medalist from ICFI, 1989 Entrepreneur of the Year from GUI. CXO of Tatas and Reliance, 2 US IPOs of startups based on his PhDs, 20 plus patents, raised around 100 million in VC funding, and 2 US MA exits, 2009 TIE Atlanta and 2010 TIE Global winner. 2010 World Economic Forum Tech Pioneer Award finalist. It's a wow story, definitely. So yes, friends, let's welcome Dr. Kilambi. Dr. Kilambi, welcome to the show. It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much, Charu and Mani, for doing this. I really appreciate this. Good day to all of you.
Thank you. So yes, Dr. Kilambi, your journey, real wow, inspirational journey, and we are so looking forward to hear from you.
Yeah, so well, my journey began pretty early when I was in my IIT. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to be a job creator rather than a job seeker. That was my thing. And I belonged to a very conservative Brahmin family of South India where nobody does any business. You know, it's all like you go and take a job somewhere. So my father, my parents, nobody could understand me at all. They thought I was like I had wrong genes maybe, you know, so who knows. So anyway, so basically I did my IIT, finished in 1985. Then I did my master's at Johns Hopkins. I had an idea then. I came back to India and I tried to start something of my own. So the first, India's first biotech plant at that time. It was basically taking the shells of prawns and crabs and converting into biochemicals. Believe me, I have not seen a crab, prawn, dead or alive before and after that. So it's only during that time I saw. So and to enter my house, my mom had to take me out of the house, take a bath, do a lot of things, and then enter the house. So I had a lot of things to go through every day for 2.5 years, every day. So anyway,
2.5 years.
Yes. Fantastic. So every day I had to follow a ritual. We had a home, we'd come out, I'd see the backyard, I would take a bath, completely head to toe. Then she would put some thing underneath me to clean me, no smell, then only enter. So anyway, that was how it was. But the thing is that I basically took that at that time approximately 1 crore Indian rupees, which is like maybe 150, 15 million US dollars or whatever it costs now, without any money from me, no collateral, nothing, so it's an interesting story. So I basically went to State Bank of India for a working capital loan, and nobody gives in India any loan even today without collateral. So they asked me, the general manager of Tirupati asked me, what do you have to give for collateral? I said, today I don't even have my hair. I just took out hair and gave it to God. But what I have is inside the hair. Is the head, is the brain inside. So if you value that, you should give me, I think I was 23 years old. I never took no for an answer. So he was stunned. So he said, give me 5 minutes. And he called me back in and he said, you know what, I can't give you a direct loan, but I can give you India's first line of credit. I was the first recipient from State Bank of India line of credit. Nobody knew that. So what it meant is that he gave me 30 lakhs, but I can't take the money out, but I can take the money out against receivables and payables, which is what his line of credit is, right? All of the bankers know. So I was the first recipient in the SBI's history. And in 1989, Government of India gave me the Entrepreneur of the Year award. So that was the story. The problem was that I was too early from the time of the company because we were doing exports. That time that we had no emails, no phones, no cell phones, all do telex, letters. By the time a letter goes and comes back, it was 30 days. So it was, and the interest kept on piling. So in 91, I had to give it off to else that came back to USA from a PhD. And my doctorate was very interesting. It produced 4 patents, no publications. Okay. And 4 patents, 2 of them were commercialized into 2 public companies. So I was the founder of one and chief advisor of second. And we raised over $100 million on Wall Street in 1996 and 97. And it became from a 0 to 100 people company in 24 months. And it was pretty good. So that's the good part of it. The bad part of it, I didn't make much money. I didn't know what money was at that time. So from a poor, starving grad student of a PhD, I became semi-rich. Okay, I got a house.
One step up.
It was like the most typical American dream, So I went for this offer. They told me, okay, you sell this technology to us. Right now, we're going to give you $250,000 in stock. We're going to give you your car. We'll give you a signing bonus of a brand new Honda Accord. I said, where should I sign? So I signed it. I gave it to them. It became a dream for me and my wife. We had a good house, good everything. They gave me a down payment for a house in Atlanta. Nice. Yeah, but the company went public. I got a great name. It was great. So that taught me that you got to think big and think a little more diverse. It gave me a perspective which I didn't have before. So that was the first 2 companies in both of them. One went in the American Stock Exchange, and one was in NASDAQ. Both of them got in 96 and 97. After that, I had one more company I started. This is this company where it didn't do well. So let me explain why. So I began in 2000 a company in IT, and it was a great product. It was doing very well. And this is a critical lesson for people is that timing is very critical. So we were doing well, and one of the biggest companies in Atlanta, I mean, you know what it is. I can't take a name for confidentiality. They made an offer to buy me out in August 2001. Okay, and I refused because I was greedy. Let's be honest. I was plain greedy. Okay, I wanted more money. And 30 days later, September 11, 2001 happened. We all know what happened on 9/11/2001. The 2 towers got hit by planes. Everything crashed, including my dream, including my project. Everything crashed. And from a high level, it became close to zero. And I had to sell the company to some company in India, a top company in India. So the lesson learned is that when there's a money on the table, take it first. Don't That's a very important lesson for all entrepreneurs is when you have money on the table, you should take it first, because sometimes that money would not be available in the future, and you can always build your castles later, but you need to start somewhere. You can't start. So I always believe, like, the problem with the Indian LCA fighter, why it took so long, was you can't build a 5th generation fighter without the 1st generation flying out. You have to, a baby can't run a marathon without crawling first. It has to crawl, get up, walk, and then run a marathon, right? So that's a big lesson I learned. So that was, then I had a 4-year, very interesting, I came back to India in 2003. I had I was doing I had a meeting with Mr. Ratan Tata, and we were doing a co-panelist, and I think somewhere, and we met him. I got invited by Tata Chemicals, and I became the Chief Knowledge Officer and Chief Technology Officer of Tata Chemicals. And I started about 16 projects in Tata Chemicals in different areas of nanotechnology, biotechnology. And you heard of nano car, right? Nano car.
Yes,
so the nanotechnology was I brought to Tata's. And that's how the nano came to the nano car. The nano. So there's some relationship between the car's name and what I did to Tata's. So I brought the nanotechnology to Tata's group, and I was there. And then in December 2005, Mr. Ambani called me for a meeting, Mukesh Ambani, and so he asked me that I want to hire you, but I want to know one thing about you, Srinivas, which differentiates you from everything else. So tell me that. So I said, you know what? This is what it is. I think really big. So 2 things will happen. Either you'll find me somewhere up in the sky somewhere, or I'll fall down so big that I'll leave a crater behind. So somewhere I'll leave a mark. So you have a crater behind. It's a huge crater.
Wow.
So he just got up, hugged me, and said, "This is the most strangest answer I ever got." And I was the youngest CEO hired of Reliance. So I became the president initially and of all non-petroleum business, and I was there till 2007 May, and then I came back to the United States, and that's when my second half of the entrepreneurial journey began. So I started 2 companies. The first company was, so here's a small story about the inspiration, and this is interesting because you never know what one line can change the whole life of whole technology. So when I was in Reliance, the whole world was trying to figure out the oil was at $150 a barrel, and everybody was looking to how to get renewable fuels, right? So everybody was trying to take biomass, which is corn stalk, rice stalk, wheat stalk, bagasse, sugarcane bagasse, and convert it into fuels. And the technology was taking 7 days. It was a 7-day US technology, and so slow. So I was thinking, what is this? Even a cricket match doesn't last nowadays 5 days. You have 1 day, 20, and so on. Why does it take 7 days? So I was sitting in a meeting with one person from Reliance, and he is completely non-related to me, to this field. And he said, Srinivas, maybe it's because nature created cellulose to be tough. Imagine this: if cellulose, which is the stem, was so easy to break, we'll have no food to eat, because it's able to withstand every known temperatures, pressures, virus, acid rain, bacteria for centuries. Okay, and it's still we are able to get food to eat. Means God made that thing very tough, so you cannot break it easily. That inspired me to think, oh my God! So what I should do is something which has never been done before, is to do what doesn't happen in nature. So I thought of something that doesn't happen in nature, and that was how this technology was born. It's completely in my head. So I thought about something called supercritical water. So it's a little technical, but we all drink water, right? This is water, right?
Yeah.
So this is water. So if you take the same water and convert it into supercritical, which at 375 degrees centigrade and 225 atmospheric pressure, it becomes a beast. Now, this same water at that temperature and pressure, if it's injected into any person alive, there will be no trace in seconds.
Dr. Kilambi, can you just repeat the last sentence? Because I think there's some lag.
When you take this water and you heat it up to 374 degrees centigrade and compress it to 225 atmospheric pressure, it becomes a completely different compound. It is so potent that if it's injected, let us say, into any living being, including us, in seconds will be carbon dioxide. It's what I call the perfect murder. Nothing will remain. Not even a trace, no bone, no muscle. It's gone. It's all gone to carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
So that's the power of this water. Okay.
My
This is normal water. That's supercritical water. So I use supercritical water technology to convert biomass to sugars and fuels. So what took 7 days, I was able to do in 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Okay.
Wow.
And I got 20 patents on that. So 5 seconds. And Kleiner-Perkins, which is the #1 venture capital firm with John Dover, who is the first investor of Google, Amazon, Intel, Will Joy, the founder of Sun Microsystems, they all said, Srinivas, we don't want to leave this room without signing a term sheet. So I signed a term sheet. They gave me $22 million to start with. $22 million. And we built this company, and 4 years later, it got an exit, a huge exit, BASF and all to go. So that's a big journey for me.
Yeah.
Then I began the second company. It's called, so the second company is also very, very interesting and different. So it's cement. We all do cement, right? So cement is the world's second largest used material on earth after water. Water is first. Cement is second. Right?
Kilambi, when was your first company, this supercritical water, this company?
That was in 2007.
2007. Okay.
So this was in 2000. The second one was 2010. So once I exited the first company, I began this, and this company is basically, the whole idea was cement is made in big kiln. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So since Romans built paved roads, first Romans built paved roads. It was a big kiln, 1,500 degrees centigrade, 1 hour clinker. You have to crush and all that. You get cement. That's how it is. So I used nanotechnology to break that. So basically, I was able to make cement in a lab without a kiln at starting temperature of 200 degrees centigrade, 1,200 degrees lower temperature.
Okay.
So I called Holcim, the world's biggest cement company, and at that time, and the head of Holcim's technology in USA talked to me and said, "How much did you drink last night? You know, so were you totally drunk? We had a hangover. Are you crazy or what?" He says, "How is it possible? We have been doing this for 100 years. It's impossible." The same company invested in me, in my technology in 2012, and they have the US rights. So they became from a complete non-believer to an investor. I proved the technology, and Kleiner-Perkins invested. I'm the first entrepreneur who actually bought the company back from Kleiner-Perkins. So they invested, and I bought them out. It has never happened. And Kleiner is the #1 VC in the world. So I bought them out, and I partnered with Holcim, and it became a big thing. Unfortunately, that technology has not seen the light of the day because of too much status quo. I hope they don't bury it. And I still have the rights for the technology in rest of the world, in India, and we have patents issued on that. So it's something which can completely change and reverse climate change. You know, cement produces 6.5% of world's greenhouse gases. 6.5%. So this technology can reduce it to a third, maybe 2%. That's a huge difference.
Definitely.
So we're looking for some people to come forward and partner. I tried talking to companies in India, but the problem is everybody in India wants to be the third or fourth, not the first. They want to be the third or fourth in line. Somebody else to be the first two. And that doesn't work in science and technology. So that's where that is. And finally now I have Keydabra, which is an AI company. So you can see how different as the journey has gone from
definitely. We connect the dots now.
A biotech plant to two technologies in membranes and water treatment, to renewables, to cement, now back to AI. So this company is again based on my invention, and it's a very proprietary mathematical formula. So you go to this is probably more interesting. You have a website, you have thousands of visitors coming to your website, right? Or to your app. And you want to know, how are they viewing you? How are they following? Are they liking it? How was their experience? How was their engagement? And for that, you do Google Analytics, mixed panels.
I do that.
And you have to go through 1,500 metrics.
It's a big chart. It's a big chart which comes.
Some going up, some going down. So what I did is, I took all this out and had created a formula which can compress all these metrics dynamically, automatically into one index. So instead of looking at, for example, S&P 500 index, so one index tells you today how the 500 companies in S&P 500 fared, right? Approximately. So when the index goes up, most of them went up. Index goes down, most of them went down. So similarly, I created what's called a digital experience index, DXI, where you basically are telling how if the index is going up, which means most of the visitors are very engaged. And if they're very engaged, they're more likely to be your buyers.
Very true.
Okay? So
Conversion will be
correlation
happening
between DXI and buying, and we found 1:1 correlation. Higher the index, more is the conversion. If you look at e-commerce, the average conversion in the world, except for Amazon, is 3%, which means out of every 1,000 people who come to a website, only 30 buy. 970 don't buy. So, yeah, 970 don't buy. So everybody wants to know, what should I do to make those 970 buy? So if we could get 30 more of those 970 to buy, you're double the sales.
Correct.
That's it.
True.
That's it. The simple thinking. Okay, 30 bought, 970 did not. How do I get 30 more? Every company on earth is looking for a solution. We have
Very
that.
true.
We have that. So now I've got this Matt Tanner and his team. So I'm to run the company, millennials, the right people. I mean, my goal is to provide mentorship. So I've gone from this end of spectrum to that end of spectrum, and hopefully I covered all.
Wonderful. Mani, we should be having a special session on this. This is very interesting to know.
Yes. I've been noting down. It's a huge list of accomplishments. I believe it's like a 32 years of journey of entrepreneurship, where he started to create jobs, and now he has actually purchased the company back from the investors, and then mentoring the current owners of the company. That's really wonderful.
Amazing.
It's a great journey. Great share, Dr. Kilambi.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I hope I didn't bore you guys. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Never. I'm looking forward to know more.
Yes. I was actually noting down. There's so much of information, and at every project that you have taken up, there's a lot of tangible results, and you had the goals achieved or accomplished. That's really awesome. As an entrepreneur, you are inspiring to a lot of people who would be watching this show and trying to learn on how to get the projects on the startups and how they have to make it a success. I think it's really great learning lesson from your journey itself. The journey itself is a great insight for entrepreneurs to learn.
One thing I want to share is that the first 5 companies of mine, I didn't put a single penny from my pocket. I didn't have. Okay, the last company, Keydabra, is totally my money. So you can see that basically the first 5 companies, it's called OPM, other people's money.
I like that.
Oh, it's OPM.
Okay, that has to be included in the lingo now.
OPM, yeah.
So yes, Mani, you can take the other question.
Great. So with so much of data and so much of insight, I would like to ask you a very small question now. After so many incredible achievements, can you highlight the key factors which helped you reach here? Basically, those factors which differentiated you from others. That could be a great learning lesson for entrepreneurs.
I won't be, I'll be honest, there are much better people than me in the world. So I can't tell about others. I tell about me. Okay. So the first thing which I would say is that the saying that think out of the box, right? For me, why even have a box? So that's the first thing is that to me, the box, when you have first of all, you draw a box, I don't even draw a box. So you got to think clear, have a very clear mind and think, what should we let you? So that's how the whole idea of taking the supercritical water will come. If you have a box, you will never think of it. Similarly, bringing nanotechnology to cement, you will not think of it if you draw a box. Okay, you have to have a complete blue sky and clear approach to thinking. So never hinder your thinking. That's the first step. The second thing which I would say is once your thoughts are constructively done and put into, then make it simple. The one mistake which people make is to make it too complex. Okay, that's never do that. Even I make the mistakes too sometimes. So I'm human too. But I'll tell every entrepreneur is do not think too complex. Google was first a search engine. Then it became Google Earth, Google Maps came much later. Okay, so if they were trying to do everything at one time, they wouldn't be what they are today, right? So same thing. Microsoft was first nothing but an Office, was an OS. Then came Office, then came so many else. They didn't bring Azure in 1985, right? It only came in 2020 or 18. So this is a journey. So the second thing is, do not make it complex. The third one is entrepreneurship, startups is not a hobby. I want to tell everybody in the world is that you got to be serious, committed, full time. You can't, if you can't commit your own time to your own project, how can you ask anybody for money for your project? How can you even ask somebody that? Nobody will give you a dime. A lot of people who actually think, I do part-time, I work here. There's definitely that if you do part-time, you're 100% going to fail. If you do full-time, you may succeed. But if you don't do full-time, you'll not succeed. You have to put your time first. You got to be committed. You have to show passion, okay? And you got to show clarity. So the three things. Apart from honesty and integrity, of course, that's for every person. But in terms of business, you got to show you have to be completely good, innovative thinking. You have clarity. You got to have passion, and you have full-time commitment. So these three you got to take risks. Bill Joy once said to me, "No risks, no rewards. No risks, no gains." You have to take risks, okay, and take calculated risks. And like for example, when I know one person who bought 5,000 Tesla shares in March for $420 when it's down dumps. So he put $2.2 million. Today it's $1,500. So he actually made $7 million profit in 4 months. Why? He took $2.2 million worth of investment. Okay, so you don't make $7 million on zero. Very rare. Okay. But you got to take risks.
Very true. Wonderful share.
So clear. Yeah. Go ahead, Charlie.
Yeah, I will ask one question. What lesson about entrepreneurship do you wish you would have known before when you started? So now, can you share something about it?
Yeah. So there are two things which I wanted to share. One is that you got to do what your customers want you to do. You can't do what you think your customers want. Okay. That's very critical. There's a problem with most technocrats is that they don't know, have no idea of customer sense. So especially when you're dealing with, like, say, customer-facing projects. When you make cement, it's okay. You have one type of cement, you have specifications, that's fine. But if you're doing an AI company or a tech or a software, the first thing you should know is, like what I say in America, did the dog eat the dog food? You make dog food, but if your dog does not eat it, it's useless. Right? So did the dog eat the dog food? So similarly, the most important thing is that you got to do what the customer wants. There's also one more saying in US, sorry for putting all this, is this: you must have the dog wag the tail, not tail wag the dog. So the market should tell you the technology and not technology drive the market. The technology should adapt to the market. That's very critical. To me, that's the lesson I learned is that you got to know your customer first, what they want, understand it thoroughly. And if you don't know how to find it, find somebody who will. Because not everything we can learn ourselves. And then tailor the product according to that, rather than saying, oh, I want to do this. I'm the greatest guy on earth and everybody follow me. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't happen.
Okay?
Correct.
So that's one thing. The second thing is, I think I told before, is that don't make it too complex. Stage it up. Start something simple, build on it. Don't try to create something so complex that nobody will understand. My wife tells me, and she's a very smart woman, that that I can't think simple. She says, when was the last time you thought simple? And I can't remember when was that. So she's right. She's absolutely right.
Good. Definitely great share. Yes, Mani, over to you.
Yes, I would like to ask one more question, Dr. Kilambi. Looking at the insights you are sharing, now you are with Keydabra. So your present venture Keydabra is providing value to the community. Can you highlight the key services and who can approach you from the global arena to obtain these services, and what could be the benefits they would be able to get from the services? If you can share your views on that, it would be great.
Yeah, so sure. So as I told you, so Keydabra is basically the operating company out of my idea to convert digital experience on any digital platform into a single index. Okay. So again, that's exactly it. I thought that was enough. No, that was not enough. People said, so what? Big deal. You give me a number. What do I do with it? Right? So then I said, oh my God, so that means the number is not enough. So we brought Matt and the rest. to give some meaning to the number, something which can be used. So the answer is that anything consumer facing, people facing applications, whether it is e-commerce, or it's hospitality, or especially now oil dumps, airline tickets, bus, they're all looking at understanding what exactly makes a consumer purchase, not purchase. Okay, and so we try to give a holistic picture of that, and then use machine learning and AI to exactly tell, okay, last week your score was 25 and out of 100, and this week it has gone up to 30, and if you want to reach 40, you want to do these 5 things, so that your conversions will go up from 2.5% right now to 4%. So make it up. So that
it tells the steps also what to follow.
So we actually tell what the 10 steps to do or 5 steps to do to go from your 25 to 35. And what will result? It will result from a conversion increase or a sales increase from X to Y. Okay, and that will be used machine learning, and everything is completely proprietary. So that's the technology. It can be applied in any what I call forward-looking, consumer-facing, people-facing digital platform. Okay, and so basically, e-commerce companies, hospitality companies, airline companies, travel companies, entertainment companies, we're all struggling right now with the COVID. We're all trying to go online now. They're all trying to go online. They need to understand they've never done this before. They've never done before, or they've not done as much before. So now everything is going online, and they need to understand that online experience is when somebody comes to a store, they're actually inside, so they're contained, and there's a 25% chance they'll buy something and go. But when they come to a website, they can just see, raise, and leave. So that's not going to help you at all. So we believe that we have the technology and the various steps to actually take the company and make them better, engage their visitors. So the visitors become customers.
Fantastic. It's really so interesting. And it's definitely helpful in present scenario because everybody is online and they are working upon websites to increase the conversion and leads. So I'm sure this will be a fantastic solution to their challenges.
Absolutely. It's very apt for today's world.
Correct.
Such a long listing takeaways for any entrepreneur who goes through this show. I've been noting down, as I said earlier, there's so many achievements, so many, and I could actually note few key of them, and I would just try to list what I've noted. As we heard from you, right from the IIT days, you were with the entrepreneur mindset to create jobs, and you are the first person to start India's first biotech startup. And in quest of getting working capital from SBI, you procured the India's first line of credit. And you're also awarded the Entrepreneur of India Award in 1988. And in 1991, you have procured 4 patents. And in 1996 and 97, you raised 100 million USD to take these patents into startups. And this is where you learned how to think big. And that's when you actually worked on various initiatives that with Tata Chemicals, for example, spun off into 16 projects, one of which nanotechnology was a very great insight to Tata Group. Plus, you are youngest CEO with Reliance Group, and that's where you figured out the supercritical water. And that's what changed the biomass conversion of any biomass into petrol or diesel or whatever. And this was a greatest achievement. And in 2007 is where you actually went ahead for this supercritical water, and you actually raised 20 patents and raised $22 million to make it a big venture and try to get it more usable for the market and industry. And in 2010,
just to interject you here.
Yeah.
If you saw, 2008 was the biggest crisis, the financial crisis in USA, the world, Lehman Brothers crashed and all that, right? Right. So
yes.
A lot of people, a lot of young Indians were jobless at that time. So I employed up close to 100 students who are on F1 visa on practical training in my company in that time. Anybody who was in chemical engineering anywhere in the US, youngsters were all given jobs at that time. So I had over 100 people working for me in that very difficult time.
Wow, wow, that's really, really awesome. And in 2010, you brought the nanotechnology meet the cement industry, which raised the money again, and it became very successful, where the America's topmost cement company helped you to partner with you, and then finally you raised the company to a success where you could buy out the entire company. And now you're with Keydabra, the AI-based solution, which actually helps entrepreneurs to work on a one single index, which is converting all the digitizing experience into one single index. That's an awesome accomplishment.
Right.
And
couple of things which I think I missed, maybe that Charu did talk about right at the beginning. So 2010, the World Economic Forum, I was the top 25 technology innovator finalist, the whole world.
Wow.
2009 and 10, the Thai entrepreneurs worldwide, I was the worldwide success story listed, and Thai Atlanta winner. And then 2011, I was the US North America's Green Technology Innovation winner. So that was for cement.
Wow.
And that's given by Frost and Sullivan. Yes, they gave that.
Yeah, that's incredible. And that 32 years of your entrepreneurship journey, what they brought to the world is supercritical water for biomass conversion, nanotechnology for the cement production, and AI for digital experience from any platform into a single index. So this is like incredible kind of accomplishments for you from you as an entrepreneur. And the key ingredients were honesty, innovative thinking, passion, and full-time commitment. And what you would have always looked to learn before whatever you take up, as you got to do what your customers want to do. So that's one very interesting learning you always wanted to have. Also, you wanted to know the customer and the technology adoption is purely from a market side. So the customers, whatever we have to do in technology for the benefit of the customer and adoption into the market.
I have two more points to just say, just quickly. Two more syndromes. What is called NIH syndrome. Okay. I suggest every entrepreneur in the world not to fall for called NIH, especially technology professionals, not invented here. Which means if I didn't think of it, it must be trash. A lot of technologists think, oh, suppose let us say Charu comes with an idea to me. It didn't come to my mind, so it's useless. If you think that, you're finished. You got to make sure that there are much smarter people ahead of you. Definitely. And listen and assimilate and improve. Okay, that's very true among, I'll be honest to you, among a lot of technology professionals, especially from India. What makes America so great is that they actually listen to technologists, give respect, and they say, okay, if I can help Charu and build 10 times on her, it's a win-win. Do that. Definitely. That's critical. The second is called founder syndrome, where every founder thinks that their idea is the best in the world. It's like asking a mother crow, what's the most beautiful thing in the world? The mother crow will say, my baby crow. But the world doesn't think so, right? The world doesn't think the baby crow is the most beautiful, unfortunately, right? So similarly, every founder thinks their baby, his baby, her baby is the most best. But what matters is what others think, not what you think. These are two things I'm talking
about.
And the best lesson, and the best lesson you always shared was like, always think clear, don't make it complex, and take the startup seriously. Correct. So with this, I think the entrepreneurs have learned a lot of takeaways from listening to your story, and it's a very incredible journey, I would say. And I was also happy to learn so many insights, and also interesting part was the way you coin these things so easy, made easy for entrepreneurs to learn. Like, for example, to share a few things, like the founder syndrome, or the not invented here syndrome, or the OPM syndrome, other people's money. So it's like so good and so easy for entrepreneurs to connect. It's like a cakewalk. And also the other thing I liked is like, don't leave the money on the table. So that's also so well coined and well done. Dr. Kilambi.
The dog eat the dog food. Don't forget that.
Yeah, sure. That's the best one.
That's the customer. That's the customer. The dog eat the dog food. The dog didn't eat the dog food. Doesn't matter what you put in there. It's useless.
Very true.
Very true.
So I have a dog, and it doesn't eat what I give. So one request I have,
and that was a great share. I'm overwhelmed with a lot of points today, and I love the way you coin the syndromes. These syndromes are good to go. So this is like a health check of an entrepreneur. So we can make this as a health check of entrepreneur. So if someone is suffering with some kind of entrepreneurship journey, so check what is a syndrome they are going through in the health check in the list, and we could actually give them the
right advice.
The right
medicine. Right medicine also. Right.
That's really awesome. Thank you. Over to you, Charu.
Thank you so much, Mani. It was really briefed very nicely, and I'm sure that entrepreneurs who are going to listen to this interview and watch this interview, they will learn amazingly. And that's the intention behind Bizway. We really want to help entrepreneurs out so that they can learn from the experts and achievers from across the globe and apply it in their ventures. Thank you so much, Dr. Kilambi, for your valuable time. It was amazing learning from your sharing, and all the best for your venture and best wishes for your bright future.
Thank you very much, and all of you have a very safe and good, blessed life. Okay, God bless all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Kilambi. Thanks for having you on the show.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.